Hi, I'm out of Meckland, and I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been there for me and my family. Thank you to New Hope Southern Baptist, and thank you to my grandpa's church. Y'all have all been there, and just thank you for everything that y'all have done for me and my family. And I want to say my grandma has been a happy person, and she has always been there, and her grandkids were the #1 thing I like to say. Everyone would agree to. She always said that I was her #1 grandson, and I would tell her that I'm her only grandson. And she said, "No, you're my favorite firstborn grandson." And so she always had a way around it. And to my sister, she said, "You're my oldest granddaughter." And to my baby cousin Ava, she was her favorite youngest granddaughter. So I told her that one day she was going to have a favorite grandkid, and she wouldn't have a way around it, but she always did. And so it makes me happy to know that she was so proud of us, and now I know that I have to live up to her expectations even more. I know that she expected me to be successful in life, and she expected me to live a Christian lifestyle, and it's important to know that not only for her I should do that, but also for God, and just live the way that I know she and God want me to live. When I was a younger kid, Mimi would always take me school shopping, and that was one of the main things about the school year. That was what kicked it off, is we would get together in the summer one day, and I used to have this big list, and we would go to Walmart, and we'd spend 2.5 hours looking for the exact item. She wouldn't have, if I needed Crayola, she would get Crayola. I mean, she was on top of things. And then when Bethany came along, the same treatment with her that happened with me, which I'm so thankful for. She took her school shopping, and not only school shopping, since Bethany is a little girl of expensive taste, she would always take Bethany to the mall and to whatever store Bethany wanted to go, and she'd always show up with about 20 different dresses and a bunch of new toys. And no matter how many times Mimi said, "Oh, you already have a bunch of clothes and toys," here Mimi came with more toys and dresses, and she cared for Bethany so much. And same thing with me that happened to Bethany. She would always tell Bethany, "How are you doing in school? How are you acting at home?" And Bethany would say, "Good, good," and Mimi always knew what was really happening, and she watched over us as if we were her own kids. I mean, we pretty much were. She loved us so much, and she still does. So, and with Bethany would always say, "Let's go to Mimi's house," and I'd say, "That's kind of random. Why do you want to go over there?" And then she'd say, "Well, I don't have a new dress that I want, so I think we should go over there." And I was like, "Well, you don't want to go see Mimi?" And she's like, "Oh yeah, Mimi will be there when she's in the car taking me to the store." Like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's nice, Bethany." So she was always, she was Bethany's Mimi, and she was my Mimi too. So.
I just got a butterfly, but I don't know where to put him.
Well, you can just let him fly.
Okay.
You know, I don't think anyone spoiled me more than Mimi did. The age of 16, most kids are trying to struggle for paying for their first car, and for me, I didn't have that. Before I was 16, in the summer I was turning 16, she gave me the keys to the Pontiac Grand Am over there, and she said, "That car's yours," and nothing to it. And so she just gave me that. Not only the car, just almost every time I saw her, slipped me $20 and said, "Here, that's just for doing a good job, and I would say, on what? And she said, just life, just good job. And so that just encouraged me, and not only was it 20 bucks, it said that I must have been doing something right. And so another thing is she would always say how proud she was of me, and if I tried to make an excuse for something, she'd always say, why? Let's say, Mimi, I don't think I can do that. She would look at me and she would say, why? And that's when she'd make me think about it, and I would just look at her and I couldn't really say anything to that. I mean, there really was no reason. And so she was one of the people that pushed me, and she encouraged me, and she would always ask me how my grades were going, and really taught me that grades and respect for yourself and having something in the future was really a good thing to work on in school. And she always told me that in high school she just went in there and took her tests, and she'd just get out of there, and she said she wished she could go back and retake those tests. She said because it really does matter. And so that has been one of the things that has really influenced me to try a lot harder in school. And I remember I made the National Honor Society, and she's one of the first people I told because I was so proud. And she said, all right, let's go out and celebrate. Let's go out, eat dinner, and we're going to buy you a suit so you can look nice for your induction in. And she was always involved, and that just always drove me to be the best and improve and really make her proud. One of my first jobs came when I was about 13. It was watching my cat, Meow Meow. Meow Meow was previously my cat when I was about 5. My dad figured out he was allergic, and so I was really attached to Meow Meow, so I gave her over to Mimi and Papa and said, please take care of my cat. And they have, and it's been here ever since. And ever since then, whenever they'd go out of town, I'd come over and feed the cat and water their plants. And it was a hard job. It'd take me about an hour each time. And as I got a little bit older, when I was about 15, I had to, she said, this summer you actually have a big job. And I said, what's that? And she said, I want you to paint my fence. And I was thinking, okay, that's no big deal. It's just a little paintbrush on a fence. And she said, give you $100. And to me, that was big money. I said, man, okay, I'll be out there first thing in the morning. Man, that fence took me about 3 to 4 weeks. It was so hot outside, and I was just out there sweating, and she was like, come on, why are you stopping? Why are you taking a break? I gave you water, what more do you need? And she would have me out there painting the fence. But of course, I was her grandson, so she said, okay, no, it's too hot, come back inside. And she'd feed me, and it was always a good work environment. But that always taught me that to be ready for the work field. And she always said that you have to be prompt and on time for your working. A few weeks ago, I was helping my grandpa out with their patio, and I showed up about an hour late, and she said, you know, I could have you fired, and you need to call ahead. And she said, you're lucky I'm your grandma, because if you showed up an hour late to your real job, they wouldn't be having you. Somebody else had already made your money. And she's just always on me like that, and that's gonna really affect me one day positively. And she was always there, and she's been a really big influence in my life.